Inside the Wayne County Circuit Court behind me, a juror overheard something about the case, so there was a mistrial and everyone expected a retrial until today when the judge said absolutely not, and that is devastating news for the mom of that tiny and innocent victim.
It was like one of the worst days of my life besides when she passed away. One of the worst days of my life.
Demetria Jones, whose 3-month-old baby girl was shaken to death more than a year ago, says a judge's ruling today has her in shock tonight because that ruling says a suspect in the case, her ex-boyfriend Michael January, is free of the murder charges against him and will not face trial in the case.
When I got the phone call, I felt that they were just saying my daughter meant nothing to me, that she's nothing. She was just another baby that passed away.
Back in February of 2010, tiny Aubrey Harrington was left in the care of Michael January for about 30 minutes, according to her mom, Demetria, who says she was just outside their apartment on Fullerton. Police and prosecutors believe in that apartment, January violently shook Aubrey. Her rib cage was broken as well. He was charged with murder.
I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Be careful.
Be careful of who you trust, is that what you're saying?
Be careful, cherish your kids.
But during the trial, which started this past May, the assistant prosecutor was apparently talking in the hallway of Circuit Court about the defendant's testimony, and a juror overheard it. Judge Carol Youngblood called a mistrial, and today the judge issued an order saying she believes the assistant prosecutor did that on purpose. The judge called the matter double jeopardy and said the case is over.
Shock. I didn't know what to think.
Meanwhile, Demetria has a little shrine to her baby daughter, which holds her ashes, her newborn picture, and a poem. And Demetria writes letters to her daughter.
I never got to say I love you or to see her smiling face.
And she says she won't rest until Michael January faces a judge one way or another.
And I'm going to do whatever it takes. That means I have to sue for wrongful death or a right to the government or whatever it takes. I'm going to do it.
Now, a spokesperson for the prosecutor's office is telling us tonight they are considering appealing the judge's ruling. And you heard the mom say she's thinking about a wrongful death suit. Also, sources close to the case are saying the assistant prosecutor did not do that on purpose, and they're also telling us the juror in question was not wearing a juror badge at the time. Reporting live at the Circuit Court, I'm Cheryl Choden, Channel 7 Action News.
A technicality that cost that mother justice. Cheryl, thank you so much for that story. And here's a look at what lies ahead for suspect Michael January. If prosecutors appeal and are successful, he could face another trial. January could also face a wrongful death lawsuit by the baby's mother.
Channel 7 legal analyst Jerry Gleason joins us live from the Action Newsroom tonight with his insight on the issues in this case. And Jerry, first of all, is this an unusual ruling, a mistrial over an overheard conversation?
Right. You don't see this very often because usually jurors are sequestered and prosecutors are not going to be anywhere near them in that kind of situation.
Well, in this case also, we just understand that the juror wasn't wearing a badge. Was the juror just in the wrong place or someplace that juror should not have been?
Right. If you're in that particular courthouse, there's an area where they congregate sometimes, and perhaps that's a function of the courthouse, but jurors are supposed to wear their badge all the time.
Now, the judge also said that there is some belief that the prosecutor did this on purpose. Is there any ramification for that?
Well, obviously there are disciplinary proceedings because prosecutors are subject to a special rule, ethical rules that prohibit them from doing this type of thing if that in fact occurred. But again, because the juror wasn't wearing their badge and so things of that nature, that's a separate proceeding.
All right, again, let's get to this mistrial idea. Now, I thought in a mistrial generally it was a do-over. You just started over, got a new jury, and started the whole thing over. What's this double jeopardy ruling?
Correct. Jeopardy attaches when the jury is sworn at the beginning of the case, and I'll analogize it to the Roger Clemens case, which has gotten some recent publicity, where a prosecutor intentionally does something wrong, then they cannot proceed again. Double jeopardy attaches and they can't do anything. If it's negligent, inadvertent, they get a do-over or a second trial. What the prosecutor's ruled here is that the prosecutor did it intentionally.
So there is an appeal in place, and if that works out, maybe this can go back to trial.
Right. They're going to have to appeal the issue of whether the prosecutor acted intentionally or not, and that's going to be potentially a tough road to hoe. All
right, Jerry Gleason, our legal analyst, thank you for the insight on that right now, and thanks for taking the time to come in tonight. We want to know what you think about this case, and people are already weighing in on it right now at WXYZ.com. Share your comments and read what other people are thinking.